Alex DeBrincat has officially been traded. Welcome to From Center Ice. My name is Courtney, and we have a trade to announce. I am sitting here in front of my camera because we have the first big move of the offseason for the Chicago Blackhawks, and that involved trading Alex DeBrincat. So before I get into my feelings about all of it, let me tell you what the trade was. The Chicago Blackhawks send Alex DeBrincat to the Ottawa Senators. In return, the Blackhawks get the 7th overall pick tonight in the first round of the 2022 NHL Entry Draft. They also get the 39th pick, and then they receive a 3rd round pick in 2024. And that's it. So to start this off, it's not a surprise that Alex DeBrincat has been traded. The rumor has been out there for a long time, and it was pretty much a when rather than if Cat would get traded. We've all had some time to prepare ourselves and really come to terms with the fact that Alex DeBrincat would not be a Chicago Blackhawk going into the 2022-23 season. That doesn't mean that it was never going to suck when it was made official, but we were given a warning and plenty of time to come to terms with that fact. Of course, what we didn't know is what the Blackhawks would be getting in return for Alex DeBrincat, a 40-goal scorer who is really turning into a very good to great two-way player in the NHL. He is not just a goal scorer, even though he does that so well. Obviously, scoring 40 goals in the NHL is no easy task. But he also spends time on the penalty kill, and he gets a bunch of shorthanded chances because he's fast. He's got a good mind for the game in the defensive zone, especially while killing those penalties, so he can intercept passes or poke the puck off the stick of the opponent and then just go the other way and get a shorthanded chance. That's not necessarily something that was always a part of his game here in Chicago, but the past couple of seasons he's really worked on that and really grown that side of the game, and you can see the improvement. He already had the great shot and the great scoring ability, but he didn't just give up and stick to that and become a one-dimensional scoring threat that just scores a ton of goals and nothing else. He put in that work, and like I said, is really becoming a great two-way player in this game and can really be an elite two-way player in the NHL. The Blackhawks were able to draft him in the 2nd round after he fell due to his size, and that was a steal of a pick for them. I was surprised that he fell so far that they were able to pick him up, and then I was super excited. We all heard about his scoring prowess with the Erie Otters, and there was a lot of excitement about this kid coming into the Blackhawks organization, and he lived up to that hype and even more. Alex DeBrincat is a fantastic hockey player and one that is so fun to watch, and one who can really be a leader in the room. Had he stuck around in Chicago, there's a real chance he could have become the next captain of the Chicago Blackhawks once Jonathan Toews leaves. You can see that quality in him from how he interacts with the media, how he talks to his teammates on the ice, and everyone close to the organization says that he has leadership skills. And he's worn the A on his sweater for the past couple seasons, so it's not like it would just come out of nowhere. The Ottawa Senators already have a captain, so he's not going to take Brady Tkachuk's spot there, but I'm just saying, had he stayed in Chicago, it's very likely he would have taken that spot over. So not only does this loss hurt on the score sheet, but also in the room, and he was very well liked by all of his teammates. Again, we had time to prepare for this, but because of all of these things, losing Alex DeBrincat was always going to suck. But the Blackhawks are in a rebuild, and Alex DeBrincat is still very young, but maybe he wants to spend those prime years playing for something, playing some meaningful hockey instead of just going through the motions in the rebuild, seeing a bunch of kids come in and veterans who aren't going to stick around, just bodies to put out on the ice. And I totally get that. He deserves to play meaningful hockey. He deserves to be in the playoffs and trying to win the Stanley Cup. He has definitely put in that work on his end, and a team who wants to compete is going to be able to use him a lot more than the Blackhawks will. So obviously they trade him to the Ottawa Senators because there's a cup contender for you. And not only do they just trade him to the Ottawa Senators, but they only get draft picks in return. And not only do they only get draft picks in return, but they get 2 picks this year in a widely regarded weak draft year. 2023 is supposed to be a super deep draft. We don't get any picks in that one, but in 2024 we get a 3rd. Congratulations! And when it comes to draft picks, there's no promise that these players are going to pan out. It is way more likely that whoever the Blackhawks draft with these 3 picks don't become as good of an NHL player as Alex DeBrincat is right now. And he's still getting better. This isn't necessarily an argument for keeping Alex DeBrincat, although personally I would have, and built this whole rebuild around him, made him captain, lead the way through this rebuild. But sometimes during that rebuild process, you have to make the hard trades and trade away the great players to get assets who are going to make your team competitive for a longer time. But what we have here is a trade for an elite NHL player for 3 completely unknown lottery tickets. It's like taking a $100 bill up to the counter at a gas station and saying, give me 3 $5 scratch-off tickets. Now, there's a chance that one of those tickets is going to win you $25,000. But really, if you've ever done a scratch-off lottery ticket, you're just hoping to win $5. But you're thinking that maybe since you gave them $100 for $15 worth of tickets where you might win $5, maybe that will bring the good karma your way and you get the jackpot for $25,000 or $50,000. Did that make any sense? No, it probably didn't, just like this trade doesn't. We didn't even get a prospect in this trade, somebody who has shown that they can at least play in the American Hockey League. 3 complete unknowns. Is there a chance that one of these lottery tickets like really shines and becomes that jackpot? Of course, there is always a chance, and that would be amazing to see. And I will come back and I will say I was wrong. This trade was amazing. We miss Alex DeBrincat, but look at this fantastic player we got in the trade. Because of course that's what we're all hoping for, that it will work out. But getting the 7th overall pick, the 39th pick, and then a 3rd round pick 2 years from now is not a good enough return for an elite NHL player, an elite NHL goal scorer, which is hard to find. If this was the best return that the Blackhawks could get, they should have just held on to Alex DeBrincat. Because then you actually have somebody you know you can build this team around going forward. Of course, I'm upset about losing Alex DeBrincat from the Chicago Blackhawks because he is an exciting player to watch. He's a fantastic hockey player, somebody that anybody would want on their NHL team. But again, I had come to terms with the fact that we would be losing Alex DeBrincat, and I was just hoping he would be going to a situation that would be good for him. The Blackhawks would get a good return back. But this one, sending him to the Ottawa Senators, who aren't close to competing for anything, and then only getting a bunch of question marks in return? I want to have faith in Kyle Davidson, and I want to believe that he is going to do good things for this team and really be able to execute on this rebuild and put the Blackhawks back in a competitive spot. But this trade just leaves me with a lot more questions than we have answers. It's going to suck not having Cat on the roster this year. If Patrick Kane sticks around, it's going to suck not having those two playing together. He already had to lose Artemi Panarin. Then they go and trade away Alex DeBrincat. He's just not allowed to play with goal scorers, apparently. They just went out and got Taylor Radish, who played with Dylan Strome and DeBrincat in junior. So are they going to just keep Radish but then trade DeBrincat and then do who knows what with Dylan Strome because he's an RFA right now? We have to just wait and see how all of this plays out, but I don't see a reality where the Blackhawks do not regret this trade. I would 1000% love to be wrong on that, and I really hope that I am. But for now, this just feels like one that's going to sting for a long, long time. And to the Ottawa Senators fans, you are getting a real gem in Alex DeBrincat. On this past year's horrendous Chicago Blackhawks team, he played all 82 games, he scored 41 goals, and he added 37 assists for 78 points. And again, he's only getting better. You're going to love him. Please just take care of him for us, because Blackhawks fans all around the world are really going to miss this guy. And to Alex DeBrincat, who I know you won't see this, but by chance you do, good luck in Ottawa. I wish you all the best. Thank you for all of the fun times and goals and celebrations and smiles here in Chicago. We appreciate you and all of the memories that you gave us, and we all wish you the best. But that's going to be all from me in this video. The first round of the entry draft is tonight. I guess we have to wait around and see who the Blackhawks decide to pick at 7th, and we'll see if anything else happens. How are you feeling? Let me know down in the comments. I'd love to hear it. Myself, I'm feeling tired already. But if you would like to hear more from me or from Center Ice, you can head on over to FromCenterIce.com. There's links to all the places you can find us over there. If you'd like to follow along on social media, all of the links to those platforms are down in the description for you. All of that being said, thank you all so very much for tuning in. I appreciate each and every one of you. And let's just hope for the best. I will catch y'all in the next video. Bye, guys.